Welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at REMAX. I'm joined today by my mother, Sandy Ellis. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Our phone number, if you'd like to talk to us, is 239-489-4042. Don't forget our website, which is topagent.com. You can watch this show. You can watch past shows. We've got links to our fan book pages on Facebook, our Twitter accounts. You can search the entire MLS. You can see virtual tours of our properties, all kind of good stuff you can do. Just remember, topagent.com. Probably the number one real estate website in Southwest Florida. Okay, Sandy, I want to talk about some trends that we're seeing develop here.
Okay.
The first thing I want to talk about here, if we go to this graph, I've got an updated inventory graph, and here's what we're looking at here. Here's our inventory over time. And basically, as you can see, it kind of peaked here back in like '07, and it's been kind of holding steady, bouncing along right here steady. But look what's happening here. Our sales picked up. These are pending sales, and we've been running at record levels. But I'm starting to notice an interesting trend here. Starting about May, our pending sales dropped off for the MLS.
Looks like they're kind of flattening out there too, doesn't it?
Seems like it now. I think things are picking up for us again, but we noticed just around Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend, yeah.
We noticed the phones kind of went dead, and we started having other agents call us, and we even made a few calls ourselves, and agents kind of complained that the phones went dead. And we didn't know if it was the expiration of the home buyer tax credit, if it was possibly the oil spill, if it was just the economy, or people just preparing for vacations and whatnot. And quite often we see that till about the middle of June. So anyway, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, Brett, I would say it's all of those things that impacted the phone calls. And definitely it made a difference when the tax credit expired. And the fear of the unknown is so much worse than what will actually happen. And in fact, in terms of the Gulf oil spill, I mean, it looks like we'll definitely be spared by that. Or at least we hope we're spared by that.
Here, I've got another interesting chart we might show our viewers here. And this is a chart that measures activity, foreclosures. These are actual number of sales per month. And as you notice here, foreclosure sales have kind of fallen. So our inventory has kind of fallen because we've been absorbing all that inventory. And foreclosure sales have gone down, but you can see these short sales since January, they've kind of been trending up. And that means the banks, to some extent, have been working with us on some of these sales. And here's another graph. This is the actual number of short sales that are going through each month. Now, we talk about how tenuous a process that is, but we're actually seeing in the entire MLS, and we've had good success ourselves, of getting the short sales closed. So Cape Coral is on the rise again. Fort Myers is on the rise again. Lehigh kind of plateaued and took a little dip, but we're going to have to see how that bears out the next few months.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these things are kind of up and kind of down, and all of a sudden you can get several foreclosures that hit the market at the same time, and then, it kind of levels out, and it seems to be sort of an ongoing process, and you don't exactly know how to predict it, wouldn't you say?
That's true. Now, I thought it'd be helpful to show a chart of what the total distress sale. Now, by distress sale, we mean either a foreclosure sale or a seller-owned short sale, where you're asking the bank to take less so it doesn't get to foreclosure. And let's look at the percentage of the market. And we've got a graph for that. Now, basically, Fort Myers is in the red, Cape Coral in the blue, and Lehigh in the green. And they kind of were trending down there in '09. And then we've seen an uptrend again, whereby Fort Myers is over 50% of all the sales are distressed. Cape Coral is over 60%, and Lehigh is over 70% of all sales are distressed in one form or another. It's kind of interesting to kind of take a look at that. Who would have thought 5-10 years ago we'd see anything like that?
We would never have known that.
We would have had 1 or 2%.
Yeah.
So these are just some of the things that we track on an ongoing basis. We've got, we've got charts and graphs and stats that measure all kind of things, but we like to keep on top of what's going on in the market because it's an indicator, Sandy, of where our market has been, where it may be going, and what kind of trends, what's affecting the market, that ebb and flow. So what are you seeing out there in terms of, I've had people question, like, is the oil in Southwest Florida? Well, not only is it not here, it's probably not coming here. And I know we took some video of our beaches, a week or two ago, and maybe we'll have to make some kind of video out of that if we can. But yeah, there's no, and we'll even put it on the show if we can.
Well, absolutely. You know, Brett, I'm saying that I think this season there's going to be a huge run on people wanting to get reservations and to get here because we are one of the areas where the beaches are, beautiful. And so many people have canceled in various parts of the country that I just see that trending in a different direction here.
Well, I was talking to a guy down at the beach a month or so ago. He was a parasail guy, and he said, Brett, do you think the fact that we don't have oil here will be a big boom?
Oh,
And here's my theory. I don't know if it's right or not, but here's my theory. I think the oil hurts everyone because people have this perception that it's everywhere when it's not. I think once all the dust settles or once all the oil settles and they find out that the oil did not come here, but it came other places, that's when I think the boom is going to be a year, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. I could see people saying, I want to go to a beach where the oil never came. So I feel bad for Pensacola. I feel bad for Louisiana or Mississippi or Destin or some of those areas where the oil hit. But, I think they're going to be afraid of what those dispersants were, what the oil could do, the toxicity, what it did to the sea life and whatnot. And when they find out it didn't come to Fort Myers, I think reservations and tourism might actually increase. But I think while you're in the midst of the storm, people aren't thinking Florida. They're not thinking that. I think it's going to come after.
well, maybe we can bet a lunch or something on that because I'm thinking that this season's going to be outstanding. I think the people are going to see what we have and what we don't have, and they're going to be here.
Oh, but no, that's a different story because season.
Oh, you're not wanting to buy my lunch.
No, you got that right. Well, I am your son. You ought to know me by now. But no, but I think by season, hopefully they get this oil thing capped, which I think they're maybe close to doing, and then people will know. But I'm just saying in the short term, like this summer, I think people are kind of hedging, not wanting to book, not wanting to, because it's a lot of money for a vacation. It's hotel, it might be airfare, it might be, all the things you're going to do, and it's a big decision for people. But the good news is oil isn't in Southwest Florida, probably not coming here. I mean, the scientists have said statistically with the way the currents are and the way the wave action is and stuff, they call it like a dead zone that it can't really get here unless maybe a tropical storm would form in the Gulf and swing it around. Then I suppose it could get here. So.
Well, and that would be the exception to the rule. So.
Absolutely. Any other trends in real estate we're seeing right now? So, Andy, I'm seeing an uptick right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're getting a lot of calls. We're seeing sometimes different things in the media than what we actually see in our office. But we're still selling a lot of properties. We're getting calls on properties. The calls have been good calls. I would say,
I'm seeing buyers at a higher price point than we've seen in the last year or two. And we're starting to see some listings, even some distressed listings in the higher price points that we haven't seen. And I think it's going to be very interesting to put those two together. I can see, some potentially good times. I think this will be a slow down market in terms of if the inventory does go away, but I'm starting to see more inventory come.
I just think that's kind of an ebb and flow. And I also think with the interest rates so low, people cannot afford not to buy. If you're in the position that you can do it, do it.
Sandy, we're at record rates. I mean, we're down on the fours.
I know.
On 30-year fixed rates.
How many years has it been since we've had mortgage rates like that? Just incredible.
And real estate can be a hedge against inflation. Like some people say gold, well, you can rent real estate out and you can actually buy at these rock bottom prices because they're so far below reproduction costs. So.
Even if you don't buy your dream home today and you buy one that works for you and then you rent it out a couple years from now, you'll be dollars ahead in the long run.
Absolutely. Well, you've been watching The Future of Real Estate presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX. Don't forget our website, topagent.com. You can do all kind of good stuff there, or you can always call us at 239-489-4042. If you've got a property sale, we can definitely help. If you're looking to buy, we've got friendly buyer agents that listen to what you want, listen to what you need, and then we'll help advise you. We'll help navigate you through this market and get you whatever works for you. We're not here to sell you anything, but we know you want to buy, so we'll get you there. Thank you, and stay tuned next week.